live. Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully some of you would join me. Today is Friday, so I'm doing a little Q&A. I know I went live on Wednesday, and a few of you hopped on, which is awesome, and asked me some questions. So I thought I would start there and just answer a few questions that I have. That I was given this week, so thought I would answer that, and then I'm going to just open it up, and hopefully some of you join me tonight and have some questions about plant-based eating, or also fueling for running or as an athlete, and plant-based. So anyways, one of the questions that I was given this week when I went live on Wednesday was about what kind of vitamins are the plant-based diet high in. So I thought this was interesting questions, a very good question, and I really want to talk through it a little bit. But my first gut answer was all of them, all vitamins, right? But then I realized actually that's not true. There are vitamins and nutrients that are missing. And that's why too I'm so have a lot of passion for helping other people with eating a plant-based diet, because I know that you can become deficient in certain nutrients that you cannot get on a fully plant-based diet. So this really is a really good question. So the nutrients, of course, that you get on a plant-based diet are going to be a lot of nutrients, right? You've probably heard a lot, or maybe in school you had some nutrition classes, which I think they're, becoming more common now. I do go into the schools a lot and do nutrition education. So I know now these kids are getting nutrition education, but I know when I was younger, I did not learn a lot about nutrition. It was more of me teaching myself. And also, hi, thanks for joining. I was really teaching myself, and then also just learning as an athlete, and my coaches also tried to help us a little bit too with nutrition, but of course they didn't really study nutrition, so could only do so much, right? Give you some general nutrition guidance. But anyways, what I was saying is there's lots of vitamins, right? And you've probably been, growing up, you were told to eat your fruits and veggies, and that is still true today, right? Something that I still promote is eating your fruits and veggies. I had a picture of my MyPlate. I use a MyPlate all the time, and I really do like the MyPlate. There are some people that, don't think that it's a very good guidance, but again, as anything that the government gives us, or anything that organizations come up with, they're always just guidance, right? There's something to help us, and it's not always perfect. A lot of people are going to have different opinions about it, but at least that's something for the general public, right, to have help with, or athletes, or a specific population. There's always guidance around certain things when it comes to nutrition, right? So with back to plant-based eating, with vitamins and fruits and vegetables. So as I was going into talking about the plate, it's called the MyPlate. So the MyPlate, if you look at it, it has on the half of the plate is full of fruits and vegetables, right? So half of your plate should really be fruits and vegetables. And I found a representation of a fully plant-based plate, which I thought was really cool, which is very similar to the MyPlate, right, that the government, the USDA, gives out as a guidance for healthy eating. So I thought that was really cool. I did share it on my story of the vegan plate, which I thought was really cool. But anyways, half of your plate should at least be fruits and vegetables, right? Whether you're plant-based or not. So That's because a lot of our vitamins and minerals and our nutrients that our body needs comes from our fruits and our vegetables, right? Those nutrients that are in fruits and vegetables are what a lot of our body needs. So those vitamins are vitamin A, vitamin C, some B vitamins, not a lot of vitamin D. So I'm going to talk a little bit vitamin D more. Not all B vitamins either. There's one B vitamin that is not in plant sources. But vitamins A, vitamin C are a lot of fruits and veggies. Potassium is a big one. Peppers and bananas, I always think about that are high in potassium. We got folic acid, fiber, definitely fiber, right? You've probably heard about benefits of fiber for your heart, constipation, those kind of things. And fruits and vegetables are definitely have a lot of fiber in them. So there's certainly lots of vitamins and minerals, and there's more that you could go into, right? There's your, and these are a lot of, I'm talking about vitamins and minerals, those are a lot of your micronutrients, right? So there's a lot of micronutrients in our fruits and vegetables. But what I really want to go into, what I think this question is really interesting and important to talk about, is that there are also vitamins that are not in a plant-based, or difficult, I should say, to get in a plant-based diet. So what's low or difficult to really get in a plant-based diet is vitamin D and also vitamin B12 are the two biggest ones that depending on, you're right, like plant-based really doesn't mean that you're fully plant-based. So, supplementation, you may want to see a nutrition professional, right? Because really just depends on what you generally are eating to see if really supplementation would be necessary or not. If you're fully plant-based, most likely you would need to supplement. But vitamin D we mostly get from the sun, right? Most of the time we can get vitamin D from the sun, but depending on where you live, it may be more difficult because you may not be outside as much if it's colder, or just more difficult to get the vitamin D you need if you're not outside as much. So, or see the sun as much either if you don't live in a really sunny place. So vitamin D comes from dairy, mostly dairy sources. So vitamin D is not easy to get. It does in plant-based sources. Vitamin D is in mushrooms, as long as the mushrooms are have UV radiation, I believe. So if they are have had the UV radiation, then they do have vitamin D. And something I do want to add is, I don't know about you guys, but I've never been someone that has liked mushrooms. So when I was actually doing some research and realized that mushrooms may be one of the only sources I can get vitamin D, I realized I really need to try to eat mushrooms. So I did buy mushrooms about 2 weeks ago, and they've been in my fridge. So Friday nights, every 2 weeks I get groceries, about sometimes every week I just pick up what I need, but I try to get most of my groceries right every 2 weeks. So today is Friday. I'll be getting groceries tomorrow or this weekend. So Fridays I usually try to clean out my fridge. So I was cleaning out my fridge tonight and I realized the only thing I still have that's still in my fridge are mushrooms, because I've never been a big mushroom fan, just don't like the texture. But I realized I think I really need to try and see if maybe I do like mushrooms again. I have been trying to eat more Brussels sprouts too, and I used to hate Brussels sprouts. I still, sometimes I like them and sometimes I don't. It kind of just depends. So that's vitamin D, but vitamin D is something that you may need to really think about where you're getting it from, or if you are at all, or might need to supplement. And then the other one is vitamin B12. So vitamin B12 is only in animal products. So meat and dairy, right, have vitamin B12. So on a plant-based diet, there's no way to get any vitamin B12 except for nutritional yeast. So if you follow me on my stories, you may see that on my food, in my meals, I always sprinkle this yellow flaky stuff. And I've had people reach out to me and ask me, what is that? It's called nutritional yeast. It is a yeast. It's very high in vitamin B12, very high, which is awesome. It's kind of got a cheesy flavor, so I honestly just use it like a spice. But you can also use it like cheese. So I also use it for vegan mac and cheese. I like it. It is different, you know, for people that may not be used to it, but it's so high in, you know, nutrient content that I think it's awesome, right? And low in calories, like why not use it? And it's high in vitamin B12, so that's something that I just put on like everything. Absolutely love it, but I also supplement too, which may be also very important. And vitamin D is important for our bones, our bone health, and vitamin B12 is mostly, I would say, important for cognitive function. So memory, your brain, thinking, right, is very important for that. There's also other things, but mostly that I associated B12 with. And then another nutrient that you may have difficulty obtaining in a plant-based diet would be our iron. So iron may also be difficult to get in your diet because with iron, there's different types of iron in plant-based foods than in animal products. So in animal products, you'll find iron in meat. So in meat, it's called heme iron. In plant-based foods, so all plant foods, the iron content that is in those is called non-heme iron. So that those two forms of iron are a little bit different, so they're absorbed in your body a little bit different. And for non-heme iron, you might just need a little bit of help to absorb that iron from the foods, and that's why I always talk about eating vitamin C with iron foods, iron-rich plant-based foods, to help absorb that iron from those plant foods. So, so that's also very important. So let's see if anybody is on. Does anyone have any questions? Let me know if you're on. Thank you for joining if you are. But yeah, that was one of the questions that I got earlier this week that I thought I would answer. If you are just joining me, my name is Kayla. I'm a registered dietitian, and tonight I'm just doing a little Q&A session to answer any questions you have on plant-based eating, specifically for plant-based eating for runners. So yeah, so that is all I had today. It looks like nobody else is joining me or hopping on, so I guess that's all I have. Unless that was my pen. Unless anyone has any questions. All right, well, I will see you guys, or I will talk again and go live on Wednesday. So join me then, Wednesday, 8 o'clock. And yeah, it should be fun. Again, I'll have a fun topic around plant-based eating and nutrition or running. And then on Friday, I'll do another Q&A. Bye.